Suddenly, the brush explodes. A creature charges out, but it's not a dinosaur. It's something far more grotesque. It stands 6 feet tall at the shoulder. The year is 30 million BC. You are standing in what is now the Dakota Badlands. The air is thick, hot, and smells faintly of sulfur and dried blood. It's a harsh, unforgiving world, and you are being watched. It has a skull the size of a grown man's torso, flanked by bizarre, bony cheekbones that protrude like war paint. Its mouth opens, a gaping cavern lined with teeth that look less like biological tools and more like jagged shards of broken glass. This beast doesn't just bite, it obliterates. It possesses the jaw strength to crush a femur like a dry twig. It is the ultimate scavenger, the bully of the Oligocene, a nightmare of evolution that nature designed with one specific purpose: to consume. You might think you're looking at a pig. You're wrong. This is the Entelodont. And in this prehistoric wasteland, if you hear it coming, it's already too late. But how did a creature this terrifying evolve? Why did it vanish? And is it possible that its bloodline still lurks in the DNA of animals alive today? Let's get the name out of the way. Paleontologists call them Entelodonts. But the internet, and anyone who has stared into the hollow eyes of their fossilized skulls, knows them by a more fitting name: the hell pig. But here's the first shocker: they aren't actually pigs. While they resemble a warthog on steroids, genetic analysis suggests they are actually more closely related to hippos and, believe it or not, whales. Imagine a hippo stripped of its blubber, given long, sprinting legs, and dragged out of the water to hunt on land. That is the biological horror we're dealing with. Unlike modern pigs, which have short, stubby legs, the Entelodont was built like a tank mounted on the chassis of a race car. Their legs were long and slender, ending in two-toed hooves. This wasn't a slow grazer. This animal could run. During the Oligocene epoch, North America was a savanna, a wide-open grassland. Speed was life, and the hell pig was fast enough to run down early horses and camels. But it wasn't their speed that made them the kings of this era. It was their attitude. Paleontologists have found Entelodont skulls with horrific injuries, gouges in the bone that are up to 2 centimeters deep. When we match these injuries to teeth, we find a perfect fit: other Entelodonts. These animals fought each other constantly. They bit each other's faces in violent territorial disputes. If they treated their own kind with this much brutality, imagine what they did to everything else. Let's dissect the weapon itself, the skull. If you were to design a monster for a horror movie, you would draw the head of an Entelodont. The skull is enormous, sometimes over 3 feet long. But the most striking features are the phalanges, large, bony knobs protruding from the cheekbones and the lower jaw. For decades, scientists were baffled. Were these for muscle attachment? No. Were they for digging? Unlikely. The leading theory today is that these were biological armor. These animals engaged in jaw wrestling, swinging their heavy heads like sledgehammers. The phalanges protected their eyes and throats from the crushing bites of rivals. And then there are the teeth. Visual note: split screen. Left side, T-Rex tooth. Right side, Entelodont tooth. They are frighteningly similar in function. Most herbivores have flat teeth for grinding grass. Carnivores have sharp blades for slicing meat. The Entelodont, it had everything. In the front, massive canine teeth interlocked like a bear trap. Behind them, premolars sharp enough to shear flesh. And in the back, flat molars the size of hockey pucks used for crushing bone. This dental setup tells us exactly what they ate. Anything they wanted. Roots? Yes. Tubers? Yes. The carcass of a dead rhino? Absolutely. A live camel? If they could catch it. They were the ultimate omnivores. They didn't just strip the meat off a bone, they ate the bone itself. Fossilized poop, or coprolites, from these creatures often contains pulverized bone fragments. They were the garbage disposals of the prehistoric world. Being a hunter takes energy. You have to chase, wrestle, and kill. It's exhausting. The hell pig found a smarter way to survive. Why kill your own dinner when you can steal someone else's? We believe Entelodonts were kleptoparasites. Imagine a pack of hyenodonts, the top predatory wolves of the time, finally taking down a prey animal after a long chase. They are exhausted. Suddenly, they feel the ground shake. A 2,000-pound Archaeotherium, a type of Entelodont, trots out of the brush. It doesn't need to attack the wolves. It just has to show up. With a mouth that opened impossibly wide, the hell pig would flash its arsenal of teeth. The sheer intimidation factor was usually enough. The predators would flee, and the hell pig would help itself to the kill, crushing the ribs to get to the nutrient-rich marrow that other animals couldn't access. It was a strategy of pure intimidation. In the hierarchy of the Oligocene, the hell pig was the bouncer that everyone was afraid of. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse, evolution dialed it up to 11. Meet Daeodon. The name literally translates to hostile tooth. This was the final and largest species of the Entelodont family. If Archaeotherium was a tank, Daeodon was an aircraft carrier. Roaming North America about 20 million years ago, Daeodon stood nearly 6 feet tall at the shoulder, but was much bulkier than its ancestors. We are talking about an animal that weighed nearly a ton, a skull close to a meter long. This was the apex, the pinnacle of the lineage. At the agate fossil beds in Nebraska, we find evidence of their reign. We see burrows of small beavers called Paleontology. These beavers built corkscrew burrows to escape surface predators. Why? Because on the surface, Daeodon was patrolling. Nothing was safe. Daeodon likely didn't even need to hunt in packs. A single individual was a wrecking crew. It could displace any predator, eat any plant, and crush any bone. It was the king of the Miocene. But being the biggest and the baddest comes with a price. If they were so perfect, why aren't they eating our cars today? The hell pigs ruled for nearly 20 million years, a massive success story in evolutionary terms. But their strength became their weakness. As the climate began to change, the world shifted. The thick forests and lush savannas began to dry out. The dominant plants changed from leafy bushes to tough, silica-rich grasses. New predators arrived across the land bridge from Asia. The bear dogs. These predators were smarter, faster, and hunted in coordinated packs. The hell pigs were solitary bullies. They were built for short bursts of speed, not marathon chases. As prey animals like prehistoric horses evolved to be faster and migrated longer distances to find food, the hell pigs couldn't keep up. Their massive size required thousands of calories a day. When the easy meals, the slow prey, and the stolen carcasses began to disappear, the hell pigs began to starve. They were specialized for a world of brute force. When the world demanded agility and efficiency, the hell pig was left behind. By the middle of the Miocene, the roaring stopped. The hostile tooth was gone. The Entelodonts are a reminder that nature is not always graceful. Sometimes, evolution produces a monster, a creature of pure intimidation, seemingly assembled from the spare parts of nightmares. They were the ultimate survivors of their time, bridging the gap between scavenger and predator, between pig and whale. They force us to respect the sheer brutality of the past. Today, their distant cousins, the hippos, still patrol the African rivers with a similar aggression. But the plains of North America are quiet. The ground no longer shakes under the hooves of the hell pig. And perhaps that is a good thing. If you survived this trip back to the Badlands, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are releasing new documentaries on the most terrifying creatures of the past every week, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. What do you think? Would a hell pig survive in today's African savanna? Or would a pride of lions take it down? Let me know your theory in the comments below. Until next time, stay at the top of the food chain.